Hey, what's up guys? Zolly Effect here. Today we're going to do a 4K review of Se7en. Got the Steelbook here, and we're going to go over the video quality, the audio quality, and just give you my overall thoughts and opinions about this release. Hope you guys enjoy. First, we're going to jump into exactly what the Steelbook looks like. So we're going to go and switch camera angles, and we're going to check that out. So this is the 4K Steelbook of Se7en. I would say it's a little bit underwhelming. The overall design is just okay. I guess on the front, I would have preferred not to have Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt's name on the front and David Fincher. I know that they're pretty pivotal to the movie, but I think it would look a lot cleaner if they didn't have that. This is the spine. Nothing much really going on here, just a Warner Brothers logo. Se7en again. This is where I think the Steelbook really doesn't look that good. Kind of just some random shots. I mean, we got some cool shots in here. These are some pivotal parts of the movie once again. But I really think they could have done a little bit more on the back of this Steelbook. Pretty sleek metal look to it, you know. Not very glossy, just a bit underwhelming, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. And I would have also preferred if they didn't put everybody's name at the bottom. So that's the inside. You might get a lot of glare. I'm gonna try to angle it where you don't get as much, but there's the disc. Just get a black disc, Se7en on there. Get Detective Mills in the front, getting his photograph taken by John Doe. And then you get some more pictures over here, displaying some key moments in the movie. Again, it's a bit underwhelming of a Steelbook release, but honestly, I do like the inside more than the outside. So that's Se7en on 4K Steelbook. I would probably give the 4K Steelbook a 6 out of 10. It's nice, and I love the movie, but I think it could have been better. If you haven't seen Se7en, basically just a real quick synopsis about the movie. It is basically about two detectives following a serial killer, and by following the serial killer, they uncover a whole bunch of murders that revolve around the 7 deadly sins. So now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and go over the video quality for this movie. This is a 4K intermediate transfer from actual film, and it was overlooked by David Fincher himself, so you're really getting a true vision of what he actually wanted this film to look like. Noticeable things that I can see with this transfer that are a lot different from when I had first seen it is obviously the black levels are a lot better, super inky, super dark and contrasty. Every single time you go into a murder scene area, it's really easy to see a lot of detail in the shadows and really get a good idea of all the intricate things they did in the in the set design for each of these murder scenes. It's actually really nice. You can see a lot of detail and pretty much everything. Not once will you find yourself really squinting to try to figure out what it looks like. This is a 4K intermediate, but since it was a transfer from film, which notably, usually a transfer from film will give you a really sharp image just because 35mm film has like a super good amount of detail already when it's filmed. But this one I felt was a little bit soft. There are a handful of scenes that really do stand out where you can see just a whole bunch of detail. So this is a 4K intermediate and it does look really good, but I would say it's just a little more softer than I would like. But I feel like that has something to do with the fact that it, has widescreen bars. I find when you watch a movie on full screen, it's really easy to see all the detail. But when you get those widescreen bars, which this movie does have, I feel like you just can't really see everything. I might just need a bigger TV, honestly, but this movie is a little bit on the softer side. It does have a touch of grain, so if you're a grain hater, you're probably going to be okay with it, because now that I think about it, the grain's really minute, really small, and you can't really see it. It's really pretty crystal clear for the most part. So if you're a grain hater, you actually should be pretty good on this film. So this movie does support HDR10, no Dolby Vision, but that's okay because this movie has a lot of bland colors. It's not really super poppy and vibrant, full of color. It's not something that you would put on to showcase how good your HDR on your TV is, but where this movie does shine is all the shadow detail and the inky dark blacks in this movie. Every single time you go to a crime scene, it is super easy to be able to see all the detail now in the crime scene, specifically the very first one with Glutton and Sloth. Sloth is actually really nasty. That scene got a whole lot nastier once this 4K restoration happened, because you can see just, I don't know, the prosthetics and stuff that they used to make the guy on the bed, spoiler alert, for Sloth, when he was laying in there. You could just see all of like the little wrinkles in his skin. You can see the like the blown out veins. I don't know, it just looks super good and it's super crispy, and I haven't seen Se7en this way at all. Like I said, this is not a very vibrant movie. I wouldn't pop this in to showcase your HDR, but it is a really good movie if you want to showcase some inky black. Close-ups on people's faces, you can see all the pores, you can see Brad Pitt's little tears when he's about to shoot John Doe. I don't know, it looks really good. It's the best I've ever seen Se7en. Not really super colorful, but where you do get your bang for your buck is the shadow details, the contrast, the inky blacks, and overall it's just a really good film to look at because all the detail that they have in all the set design. So I would go ahead and give the video out of a 10, probably like a 7.5 out of 10. It sounds kind of low, but honestly, it looks really good, but it's not anything that's gonna blow you away when it comes to like showing off some 4Ks. But this is the best way to watch Se7en, I believe. So now let's go ahead and go to the audio. I do remember that this audio was actually downgraded from a from a 7.1 mix all the way down to a 5.1 immersive mix. I don't know why they would do this. You would think that maybe when doing the restoration, they might have even wanted to do like a Dolby Atmos track, which I think would have been crazy, but no, they kind of just downgraded it a little bit, and I feel like you can actually tell that it's downgraded because I don't know if this is my issue because I don't have a full Dolby Atmos setup. I do have like a pretty awesome soundbar that has Dolby Atmos on it, but I know it doesn't really compare. But I was running into issues of being able to separate people's voices from all the background noise and just different sound effects that they have in the movie. I found myself a lot of times kind of rewinding the movie because I couldn't understand what Morgan Freeman or Mills were saying to each other on certain parts because all the other audio, the immersive audio, was kind of overpowering what they were saying. And then when I turned it up, all the volume, I just didn't feel like the audio separation was really there, and I couldn't make out things. It didn't seem as such like a wide sound stage, if that makes sense. It just kind of seemed pretty much like all on the same level. So I would give the audio out of 10 probably like a 5.5 out of 10. Nothing really stood out to me. A lot of the rain stuff that they have in the background, a lot of the outside city work and people talking and police sirens and stuff, that sounds really good, but honestly, nothing to write home about. I didn't feel that the 5.1 immersive audio was very immersive. Now, this does have some bonus features, but after doing some research, it's just the same bonus features that they did release when they had the Blu-ray version of this movie, so nothing to write home about. I did watch a little bit of it. The main one that I watched was they went over the production design for every single murder scene room, and that was pretty interesting, but I also feel like it wasn't really high budget or anything. They kind of just had like some stills of concept art of all the murder scenes, and it was actually really low quality, like probably like 1080p. It wasn't like 4K or anything. I also saw some commentaries on there. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to them, but since it's the same, it's probably the same commentary from the Blu-ray. I will check that out at some point, but I did not check it out for this review. So special features, I'm gonna have to give it like a really low score of like a 4 out of 10. They didn't really throw anything new in here. They didn't really give us something to like maybe like an anniversary or like a special interview from David Fincher or anything. They didn't really do anything extra on the special features. Basically the same. So yeah, that's why I'm giving it such a low score on the special features. So I paid about $34 for this, I believe, and I pre-ordered it a long time ago. I actually had one pre-ordered on Groove and Amazon because I thought it was just going to sell out, which I think it kind of did because it's on Amazon now for like $60. But yeah, I ended up getting my Amazon one first, so I canceled the Groove. And I would say about 34 bucks is about normal if you're gonna buy a Steelbook, so it's around that price. But as Steelbook goes, I don't think it's really that worth. If I was to get one again, I would go ahead and get the slipcover version. I think that one looks a lot cooler and there's a lot more going on. I'll throw a video up of basically how that looks. It's pretty cool. I wouldn't really recommend the Steelbook, honestly. I do like the cover of that very iconic shot of John Doe with the gun on Mills. It's actually one of my favorite shots from the movie, so that's pretty cool. But I just I couldn't help myself but feel a little underwhelmed. And for $34, you would hope that the Steelbook kind of slaps, but it was just okay. I would say that this new movie release isn't a super crazy, like, I feel like they could have went all out on this one because it's such a great movie, but they kind of didn't, and that's kind of a bummer. No new special features, downgrade on the audio, but that 4K transfer does look nice, and I do believe that's the definitive way to watch this movie now, and it hasn't looked any better like ever. And I would say if you're gonna pick this movie up, definitely get the slipcover, don't get the Steelbook. If you're thinking about getting this and you're kind of on the fence about getting it, I would say if you're a David Fincher fan and you love Se7en or any of the other movies, that I would definitely get this because this is the best way to watch the film. It hasn't looked better ever, and you're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck when it comes to the actual film itself. If you're more big on special features and you like picking these up for the special features, I would say it's not really worth it. There's just not a lot going on. I would say the audio is not too crazy either. It's a little bit of an underwhelming release, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, I love David Fincher so much that I had to pick it up and I had to get the Steelbook. So I went ahead and actually checked on Groove, and this movie is sold out, at least the Steelbook is. And so if you're gonna wanna pick it up, I'd recommend going on Amazon, getting that slipcover for about $24, super reasonably priced. Super cool looking slipcover actually. I think this movie would have been a super big banger if they did a little bit crazier on the packaging, upgraded the audio instead of going from a 5.1. They went all the way to a Dolby Atmos. That would have been sick. But my overall score for this movie would probably be about a 7 out of 10. A bit underwhelming, but I love the film and I love the transfer to 4K intermediate, which is a plus. And I'm pretty happy with my purchase actually. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is actually my first 4K review on this channel. As you can see, I've been buying a lot of 4Ks as of recently, probably for like the past year now. And I was like, you know what? I'm getting all these exclusive 4Ks that are sold out and I'm just kind of keeping them for myself. And I wanted to show off to some people and, you know, kind of show off my collection and give you my thoughts and opinions about these 4Ks. I love watching them. I'm going to be buying them anyways. So I thought, you know, might as well do some reviews. I have a whole bunch of 4Ks coming in this month. We got Snowpiercer coming in, Inglourious Bastards, The Cell, and Smile, and then also the exclusive Steelbooks from Lionsgate for Kill Bill 1 and 2. I plan on doing a review on all of them, so stay tuned. This is pretty exciting. And yeah, just thanks for watching, and let me know what you guys thought about the 4K transfer down below in the comments, or the audio, any of that stuff. I would love to hear what your experience was, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.